Welcome to another Houston real estate market update. In this video, I'll be going over everything you need to know about what's going on in Houston real estate. So let's get started. So this is the August market update, but remember these numbers are for the month of July. So it's a little confusing, but obviously they come out after the fact. So just a reminder there. Let's start with new listings. So quite the dramatic drop off in new listings here in July. And I'm gonna take you all the way back to the month of July. And I don't know if you remember, but we had quite the dramatic experience with Hurricane Beryl and many people, millions of people being without power for weeks. So it kind of impacted the real estate market. Obviously, we're still healing from it and getting back to normal and things are a little bit better, but we did have quite the drop off on new listings here in 2024. Funny enough, we were actually only down 3% from this time last year for new listings coming on the market. We just have had so many more new homes hitting the market here this year than we've had in previous years. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on. And then here for active listings, we did see the drop as well, but it's not a whole, it was what, 1,000, not even 1,000. So of single family homes dropping off the market. And we're actually up on inventory, as you can see, for the month and the year here in 2024 by about 34%. So quite the increase again from this time last year. So a lot more inventory here for you home buyers looking for homes. We'll see again here in a little bit how that relates to prices. But for now, let's go over pending homes. Here for the green is in 2024. And again, pending homes dropped off quite considerably. As you can imagine, what would happen and what did happen is that for many of my clients and clients are buyers and sellers throughout the Houston area, if you are financing the purchase, a lender had to send out an appraiser or somebody else to take pictures of the roof and see if there's any damage to the property before they close, because obviously they didn't want any damage to the house and to close on it, then have to deal with that afterward. And so that pushed back a lot of these closings. So I think a lot of these closings here that were pending, even though our homes are down, I think we will see some more homes sell here in the month of August. But again, that kind of pushed back a lot of these closings. So again, we'll see what happens, and it remains to be seen how that impacted real estate here for the next couple of months. But I do think we will kind of stabilize and get back to normal with a good little rebound month here in August and September. All right, look at sold homes here, 22, 23, and 24 in green. So we've been back and forth with homes sold, higher or lower than last year. But for the most part here, we're about the same. One thing that's really interesting is this month, homes priced $500,000 or less, pretty much all dropped slightly or a decent amount for a number of homes sold. Whereas the luxury market, the 500,000 to $1 million and then $1 million plus, all had increases. The 500 to just under 999,000, those increased 9.1% year over year, and then the luxury market increased 14% year over year. So a lot more demand for luxury homes here in Houston. Maybe it's people moving from out of state or out of Houston area, people moving up to larger homes. Or also too, is another thing to consider is that many home buyers in the luxury market are purchasing with cash. So you could have some of that too, where it's like, okay, they were the ones that were able to close because they didn't have the financing contingency, they didn't have to send the appraiser back out to take pictures of the property. And so maybe a little bit of a combination of all those different factors increased the luxury sales here this past month by a good amount. So we'll see how that impacts prices here. And looking at the average sales price here, we set an all new record for the average sales price in the Houston area. The highest average sales price we ever had is $445,440. And that is, obviously we broke that here earlier in May from the previous record. So we just, higher sales prices, which is crazy because we're getting more and more inventory. So you think at some point home prices are going to come down, but we just haven't quite seen that yet. And I'll talk about how interest rates are, possibly playing into that here in just a second. But let's move on to the next one, which kind of look at the year-over-year numbers. Single-family home sales are up just 1.8%. Average sales price is up almost 5% year-over-year. Total active listings went from 36,000 to 47,000. So that includes condos and townhomes and single family homes. And so that's an increase of 30% year over year. So quite an increase. Months of inventory from 3.2 to 4.3. So we are still in a seller's market, but again, we're working our way closer to that 5 to 6 month range, which tends to be about an average market, not a seller's market, not a buyer's market, just kind of an average one. And pending homes, we're actually down 7%. So I do think that will pick up here for the month of August. Let's take a look at those interest rates. And so the conventional 30-year fix nationally is averaging about 6.54%. So getting back down to a little bit, that lower 6 range. And good news is that the 15-year fix is now under 6% at 5.99. So that is great to see. So those interest rates are coming down. With the 10-year treasuries, it was dropping, the Fed potentially cutting in September. And so hopefully that's gonna help out make these homes a little bit more affordable. But obviously if the interest rate drops and prices stay elevated, keeps that affordability pretty close to where it's been. So if we get some price drop and interest rates continue to lower, that's just going to be a great combination for home buyers. So that's a quick market update. If you have any questions or need help buying, selling, or renting, I'd be honored to help you. Please reach out. Until then, see you soon.